through 10 games of this regular season, and after the Battle of Canada where we beat the Vancouver Mountaineers, this team is doing too well for my liking. We're 6-4, we've won 5 games in a row. I need to make sure that we tank. Now, after the last video, a ton of you guys left me comments down below and said, get rid of Jordan Clarkson, make Dejounte Murray the starting point guard. Well, I'm not going as far as getting rid of Jordan Clarkson just yet, but Dejounte Murray, you're right. He needs more playing time. He can develop into a really good piece or a trade piece that we could use later on in the year. So Dejounte Murray, you're going up about 7 or 8 minutes per game. We're going to see what you can do the rest of this year. Now, one of the first players that I want to get rid of as I start this massive trade scenario is going to be Jerian Grant. He's okay, but to be honest, Murray will be the point guard of the future for me. So Grant, you're gone. Now for Jerian Grant, I didn't really get a ton from him, but he's on a 2-year, $4 million contract. I can get Eric Moreland, who's on a 1-year expiring deal, and I can get a draft pick out of it, a first rounder. It is lottery protected, but I can use this to try and trade bait it later on in the year. Next up on the trade block is going to be Serge Ibaka. Look, Serge has been good and he's a nice guy, but he's 28. He has a 3-year deal for $65 million. I want to get rid of some of that cap space so I can make a big splash in the offseason, especially in free agency. Now, for the trade for Serge Ibaka, I do want to get this team younger, and I want Kyle Kuzma. So we're going to try to get Kyle Kuzma, and we're going to get Luol Deng back, who has a 3-year, $54 million contract, which that definitely sucks. It's one of the worst contracts in basketball right now. But it's less than Serge Ibaka's contract, and I'm going to try to trade Luol Deng right around the trade deadline just to get rid of him as well off my books. So we're going to end up trading Serge, Patrick Patterson, and a 2020 second-round pick for Kyle Kuzma and Luol Deng. Now the question is, will they accept it? We're going to try to go for it here. And the Lakers just got robbed. We just got Kyle Kuzma. I like our future right now. And the last guy that I have on my team that I just acquired and I really want to get rid of is Luol Deng. Look at that contract. He's bad and he has a 3-year, $54 million deal. We got to get you up out of here, Luol Deng. Now, the unfortunate part is there aren't really a lot of trade deals I can have for Luol Deng, but the one guy I can get this on an expiring deal is Vince Carter. So $8 million for the first year. He's going to retire after this. Let's go ahead and trade Luol Deng for Vince Carter. Probably one of the weirdest trades of all time, but we'll go ahead and do that one. Now, I know I said that I was going to be done with trades after that last one, but I have a couple more that I want to try to squeak in. So we have Trevor Booker, who I love Trevor Booker's game. He's so good for this team, but he's 30 years old. He's in the last year of his deal. I want to try to get Glenn Robinson III and then re-sign him. I'm hoping if we can re-sign him, maybe he's either my small forward of the future or the backup of the future if I don't get a guy like Michael Porter Jr. or Marvin Bagley to play that position. So we're going to try and get this trade to go through. We're getting Sumner, we're getting Robinson III for Trevor Booker's services. The trade is going to go through. Now, because we just acquired another small forward, I have a couple on the roster I got to get rid of. So Tony Snell, we're going to trade him for, yes, another small forward in PJ Tucker and a 2021 second-round draft pick. But I'm going to move PJ Tucker here in just a second. Now, this is why PJ Tucker was important, is we're going to take him and his 3-year, $23 million salary for Darrell Arthur, who is a good role player off the bench, but won't really see any playing time for me this season. He's got a 1-year deal that expires after this year, and then we get a 2018 second-round draft pick, which I can use to try to trade back up in the first round, because I'm going to try to make some trades during the draft, too. So this trade, we go ahead and offer it, and of course, it is going to be accepted by Denver. And then lastly, we're going to take Trevor Ariza in a 2021 second-round draft pick for Allen Williams, who plays for the Phoenix Suns, and a 2019 second-round draft pick, because again, I'm trying to stockpile these draft picks to make sure that I can do something nice here in this upcoming draft, because there's so much talent there. So now that I've made a ton of trades, I'm hoping that 1, we can tank a little bit, and 2, we can actually have a good little core to build upon. So here's a look at the roster. Jordan Clarkson, a starting point guard, Bumpy Johnson, a shooting guard, Jay Crowder, a small forward, Kyle Kuzma. I'm so excited to have Kyle Kuzma on this team at power forward, Dwayne Dedmon here at center. We have Allen Williams off the bench at power forward, Glenn Robinson III, Dejounte Murray's getting about 20 minutes per game now. Jonathan Simmons is now at about 15, Deontay Davis is at 14, and then Shabazz Muhammad gets about 2, which means that Moreland, Vince Carter, and then Darrell Arthur, and then Sumner are all pretty much not going to play at all the rest of the season. So we finished the regular season. Let's take a look at some of the awards, and then we'll dive in to see how good or hopefully how bad we ended up doing. Now, Stephen Curry averaged just shy of 30 points a game, 6 rebounds and 8 assists a game, and killed it and deserves the MVP with those numbers. For your Rookie of the Year, you're going to see Ben Simmons get 15, 7, and 6. Again, very good numbers for him. You see Kyle O'Quinn end up getting your 6th Man of the Year. The Defensive Player of the Year goes to Andre Drummond, who averaged a double-double and about 2 blocks per game. Most Improved Player goes to Jamal Murray, who was out there cooking in the city of Denver. About 17 points a game, about 5 assists. Not a bad year for him at all. And Coach of the Year goes to Steve Kerr, who got 69 wins, almost got 70 again. What a year by the Warriors. All NBA first team, here's a good look at it. You got Curry, Harden, Antetokounmpo, George, and Cousins. For your second team, you got Westbrook, Russell, Kevin Durant, Kristaps Porzingis, who ended up injuring himself at the end of the year, and Andre Drummond, your defensive player of the year. The third team goes to John Wall, Damian Lillard, Balake Griffin, Kawhi Leonard, and then Nikola Jokic. All defensive first team goes to Jimmy Butler, John Wall, Giannis, Paul George, and Andre Drummond. Nobody really shocked me on that side. Your second team, Chris Dunn, though. Look at Chris Dunn making a name for himself. Second team all defensive, James Harden got all defensive second team. This must be a glitch. There's no way he got second team, but apparently James Harden did. Draymond Green, Kristaps, and then DeAndre Jordan as well in the second team. Your all rookie first team looks pretty good if you ask me, but I feel like our guy got snubbed. Why is Kyle Kuzma not in here? You see Ben Simmons, Lonzo Ball, who got a torn right calf muscle, Donovan Mitchell, Dennis Smith Jr., and Markelle Fultz. On your second team, we still don't see our young guy Kyle Kuzma. You do see Milos, Jason Tatum, De'Aaron Fox, Mike James, and John Collins there. As for your playoff bracket, you see Golden State versus Utah, San Antonio versus Denver, the Rockets versus the Clippers, and then the Thunder versus the Timberwolves. That's going to be a really good matchup. And on the East Coast, Philadelphia. The 76ers took the #1 seed. That's blowing my mind right now. So they're playing Washington. You got the Pistons versus the Milwaukee Bucks, the Cavs versus the Knicks, and then the Celtics versus the Toronto Raptors. And in the NBA Finals, you saw the San Antonio Spurs face the Boston Celtics, and the Spurs end up walking out with the championship. So Popovich gets another ring to add to his already incredible collection. And your Finals MVP, if you had any doubts, was Kawhi Leonard, who only averaged just shy of 20 points per game and 7 rebounds. So kind of surprised that he only averaged 20 points a game, but still he killed it in the finals and did what he needed to do. As we head into the offseason, we of course expected Vince Carter to go ahead and retire. After 19 years, the big fella hangs it up. Jason Terry, Paul Pierce, who found himself in free agency and nobody wanted him, so Paul Pierce rides off with nobody really celebrating his career. Sorry, Paul Pierce. Jamal Crawford, Richard Jefferson, Pau Gasol. You see Luis Scola, Anderson Varejao, Jose Calderon. No other really big names outside of those guys at the very top. And then Manu Ginobili wins a ring and retires. What a career for him. For the Hall of Fame players, Paul Pierce does get one thing that he wanted, which is the Hall of Fame, so he goes in averaging 19 points per game for his career, and Vince Carter, just behind him at about 17.9, goes in the Hall of Fame as well. And with Manu Ginobili playing for so long for the San Antonio Spurs, he gets #20 retired, which I feel like will happen in real life. He has been a legend for that franchise. Congratulations to him. We can take a look at the league meetings and we can see what got approved and what got rejected. So there was a thought to change the shot clock to 30 seconds, and it was actually closer than I would have thought. 18 yes and 14 no. If we look down here, one thing that did get approved is opposing teams will enter the bonus after one team foul in the final 2 minutes of the corner. I'm not mad at that at all. The other things that got rejected were opposing teams that enter the bonus after 14 fouls have been committed in a single quarter, and then automatic points will now be granted on shooting fouls. No free throws will take place following the foul. Yeah, please reject that and never allow that again. So the draft lottery doesn't really have anything major out here. So you can see the Hornets, the Suns, the Kings, the Mavs, and the Hawks end up being your top 5 teams, which is nothing really crazy. The 76ers have the #7 pick. You can see that we fell down to about #12, which is right aligned where we're supposed to be. And the Mountaineers ended up going at 15. So we can trade with one of those top 5 teams. Ideally, the Suns, the Kings, the Mavs, or the Hawks. One of those teams, if we can get a trade with them to get their pick, I think will be good. Now we've advanced a little bit in the offseason. I've got an opportunity to do my pre-draft workouts. Now there's a couple guys that I obviously care about. Marvin Bagley, Michael Porter Jr. Trae Young is the #1 guy that I want to go ahead and try to get. I mean, this kid is a stud. He can shoot the lights out. Let's try to get him on the team. Now if we can't get him, Colin Sexton is a nice little, surprise we could possibly get there. Miles Bridges is a stud as well. DeAndre Ayton would be good. And then if I can get Luka Doncic, I think that's probably the last player I can actually scout. No, we can get Mohamed Bamba. How many players can we get? Oh, we have 4 more invites. So let's see. We'll do Michael Bridges here. And then I think Hamidou Diallo is the last guy I'm actually going to focus on. Oh, we have 1 more. Okay. Let's go ahead and say the last guy, we'll go with Theo Pinson. Maybe we can get ourselves a nice little shooting guard. So we'll invite those guys here. We can see what they kind of did. So let's look at their workout results. Let's go ahead and go by vert. So the highest vert was Theo Pinson with a 44-inch vertical. That's kind of surprising. I'm assuming that Trae Young's going to be down here at the bottom. He had 32-inch vertical. This dude isn't really a combine stud. You can see Michael Porter Jr. had a 41-inch vertical, as well as Colin Sexton. Bagley had a 41. Hamidou Diallo had a 43-inch vertical. So there's some studs out there for sure. So I wanted to ideally trade for the #3 pick, but I couldn't because Sacramento can't trade first-round picks in consecutive years. So because of that, I'm trying to trade the farm right now for Trae Young. I'm trying to trade Jordan Clarkson, the 2019 second-round pick that we have, Tyler Johnson, a 2020 first-round Detroit lottery-protected pick, and then an unprotected 2019 first-round pick from us for basically Phoenix's first-round pick, and then give me Alex Len just for salary reasons. Now, Will this go through? Let's find out. They agreed to the offer, so we have a chance to get Trae Young or Michael Porter Jr. or one of those guys. Now at this stage, I'm trying to pull off one of the craziest heists of all time. So we have Dejounte Murray, who I think is going to be incredibly good, but he's not as good of an outside shooter. And if I get Trae Young, which I assume I will do, he's not really going to have much of a piece of the future for me. We've already traded Jordan Clarkson. I might as well trade Dejounte Murray too. So Dejounte Murray, a 2018 first round pick. This is going to be number 12 for us. Not a number 2 pick, but a number 12 pick. The 2018 second round pick, and then a 2021 second round unprotected pick to basically get Dallas's number 4 pick and get the Harrison Barnes contract that they do not want off of the books for them. So this is a lot to give up. Let's see if they actually take this deal. So we go to make this trade. You're asking me to give away a valuable asset, the 18 first round pick number 4, when none of the assets I get back seem nearly as valuable. That's not happening. However, I have a counter offer I think I can work nicely for both sides. So let's see what that's going to be. Oh, you want Kyle Kuzma? No, sir. Now, because they threw an outlandish trade and I'm not trading Kyle Kuzma, I said, look, we'll go Dejounte Murray, the number 12 pick, the 2021 first round pick, unprotected, literally no protection on that whatsoever, and then Alex Len, who we just got in a deal, who has 3 years left in his contract, for Harrison Barnes, and that sweet, sweet first round pick, number 4 overall. So let's see if they'll take this one. No, they literally don't want to. What if we remove Harrison Barnes? Will they take that one at all? So maybe I gave up too much, but I didn't really want Alex Len, but we got the 4th pick. I'll take it. So here's a look at what we've done in terms of the draft. So we have the number 2 pick and the number 4 pick in the first round. In the second round, we have the 12th pick, and then we also have a 32nd pick in the second round. Then in 2019, we only have a second rounder. In 2020, I only have a first rounder. And in 2021, we only have a second rounder. But if we can get both Trae Young and maybe Michael Porter Jr. or Bagley, this will be 100% worth it. The NBA draft has finally arrived, and I'm excited. Look, we have multiple picks in the top 5. It took us a lot, and now we're getting a couple offers thrown in. Now we're being offered the following trade. The Hornets won our first round pick, and then Jonathan Simmons for basically their first round pick and Nicholas Batum. Now that's interesting. Let's go ahead and look at this trade just to see if I actually want to do it. We'll negotiate this one really quick. So the more that I look at it, this trade actually makes sense. This is actually for my number 2 pick and Jonathan Simmons, who I was planning on getting rid of at some point in the future. And I could get Nicholas Batum and a first round pick in exchange. Now Nicholas Batum does have a hefty contract at about $24 million a year, but I can use him as trade bait and be okay. So now I can get the number 1 draft pick. That way I can just ensure that I get at least Trae Young or Michael Porter Jr. and then hopefully I get the second one with my 4th pick overall. So let's go ahead and make this trade. We're on the clock, baby. Now I do have a lot of different options here at the number 1 overall pick. Marvin Bagley's here, Michael Porter Jr., Doncic, Trae Young, Mohamed Bamba, Colin Sexton even. But here's the thing. Michael Porter Jr. makes the most sense. I don't really have a true small forward, and even though we have Nicholas Batum, we'll probably trade him or let him sit the bench. Trae Young, I think I can get him at the number 4 pick, assuming he doesn't get taken at the 3rd pick. So we're going to gamble. We're going to take Porter Jr. here, and we're going to hope, we're going to pray that Trae Young is going to be here at the 4th pick. So Michael Porter Jr., welcome to Montreal.
The first pick in the NBA draft, a 20-year-old small forward from the University.
This is our franchise player, people. Everyone is going crazy. Porter Jr. Wait, people are saying why? You don't want Michael Porter Jr.? We'll show you why he's the best. People didn't want Kristaps Porzingis, but look how good he is. 78 overall, I'm happy with that one. Horrible pick by Montreal. He is bust written all over him. Nah, he's going to show you. All right, 2nd pick. Who are the Hornets taking? Do not take Trae Young. Whoa, they took Kevin Knox. Okay, this is good news. They took him, which I think is a gamble pretty early on. I'm not mad at this at all. Like, keep taking picks like this and we'll be okay. He's a 72 overall. Like, really? You traded back to take Kevin Knox? Like, maybe you know something that I don't know, but I feel like that's an L. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of that 2nd pick overall. Okay, 3rd pick. If they do not take Trae Young, we're good. They took Marvin Bagley. Okay, Bagley fell to 3. They took him there. So now we've got Kuzma. We got Michael Porter Jr. We're going to be picking in number 4 because we got the Mavericks pick. I mean, Grammy Morgan, some of our future. He's an 81 overall. Okay, maybe I'll regret it. Tell me down below. Should I have taken Marvin Bagley or was I good with Michael Porter Jr.? I want to know what you guys think on that one. Now, we should be on the clock here. So we've received 27 trade offers for the next pick. Unless LeBron James is in them, probably not going to go ahead and take them. But we'll go ahead and look just to see, you know, what's out there. So let's see. Dario Saric, Chris Middleton, Chris Dunn, Kevin Love. Wow, they threw Kevin Love at me. Jaylen Brown. There's a lot of big picks here. Kemba Walker, my twin, Rudy Gobert. nothing really is enticing me though. Like, these are not picks that I would really say like, oh, okay, we want to mortgage our future and get one of these guys, especially when Trae Young's on the board. So with all of that being said, we've looked at all these draft picks. CJ McCollum's actually pretty intriguing, but with all that being said, I think it is time to go ahead and take the guy that we've been looking for. Trae Young. Luka Doncic is a good player. I don't want to slight him, but Trae Young, welcome to Montreal, young fella.
The fourth pick in the NBA draft, the 20-year-old point guard from the University of Oklahoma.
And there he is. So we just got two franchise players, in my opinion. Trae Young to run the offense, Michael Porter Jr. to be on the wing, and then we have Kyle Kuzma at power forward. This is a great pick if you ask me. I want to know again in the comments below, was this the right move? And Luka Doncic goes number 5 to the Atlanta Hawks. Now, we got a little interesting thing happening here because I wasn't really planning trading this pick, but you guys know Theo Pinson is a guy that I scouted. I like him. He's got like a 44-inch vertical. And they offered me Theo Pinson for the 2018 second-round pick, and it's number 44 overall, and the 2021 second-round pick for Theo Pinson. I mean, this kid's a stud if you ask me. He's 6'6", 220. Not really the greatest shooter, but the dude can slash to the hoop, and I need some more bench depth at this point. So, you know, we're going to go ahead and take this guy. He was the second pick in the second round, but now he's coming to Montreal. Let's go with Theo Pinson. Now, we find ourselves with the last pick in the NBA draft, and as I'm scrolling through here, LiAngelo Ball is available. You know what? I'm kind of intrigued. So they say what his strengths are. Nice shooting form, hits a long-range shots regularly. Only a few prospects have a higher playmaking ability. Below-average defender, doesn't have a knack for stealing the ball. Below-average grasp, the defensive game. Past his physical, so you know what? Honestly, at this point, I'm willing to take a flyer on the Ball brothers. He's not going to LA. He's coming to Montreal. LiAngelo Ball, we got you. So to recap this draft, basically, we got Michael Porter Jr. at the number 1 overall pick after pulling a bunch of strings. Kevin Knox went second. Marvin Bagley the third, ended up going third. We got Trae Young at number 4, which I think, again, is a steal. Luka Doncic, Colin Sexton, Michael Bridges. DeAndre Ayton ends up going to the Suns, which will be a nice little void for them. Grayson Allen goes to the Cavs. And then you see Hamidou Diallo end up going number 10 to the Grizzlies. Now it's time to look at team and player options. Now, Dwayne Dedmon declined his player option, so I'm not super happy about that. But with a 2-year option here for Alan Williams, we're going to go ahead and accept that one because we don't have a ton of depth at the power forward spot. Even behind Kuzma, I need someone to be there for him. And Alan Williams is actually a pretty good player. Now, Shabazz Muhammad ended up declining his player option. Mr. Moreland, he's a 2-year team option, but we want no parts of this dude, so we're going to go ahead and let him go. And then Darrell Arthur, of course, he's a player option. He accepted, which is what I didn't want, but we'll take it for what it is. Now, free agency is totally over with, and here's a look at what my roster looks like at this moment. So Kyle Kuzma is my highest rated overall player. We have Jay Crowder, Nicholas Batum, who's probably going to be trade bait at this point, Michael Porter Jr., Dwayne Dedmon we ended up bringing back, Alan Williams is also brought back, Trae Young will be our starting point guard at 77 overall, so he actually went up a little bit in some areas and down in some areas. You see Seth Curry there as our shooting guard. You got Mike James as our backup point guard. Hezonja we brought in on a 2-year deal. You see Deontay Davis, who's still there improving steadily, and I really think he'll be a part of our future. Want to make sure we re-sign him. Theo Pinson, a guy we traded for towards the end of the draft. Darrell Arthur, who I hope that we can dump his salary at some point. And then LiAngelo Ball at a 65 overall as the rest of our roster. Now, what's kind of crazy is that the All-Star reveal, it's coming to Montreal, Canada, so we're going to host the All-Star game in this next year, which is kind of insane. So after that crazy offseason where we got a bunch of young talent, we're a little, shy in the shooting guard spot, but I think there's enough shooting on this team to help get the job done and at least make a push for the playoffs. So a look at the roster: Trae Young at starting point guard, Seth Curry at shooting guard, Michael Porter Jr. at small forward, Kyle Kuzma at power forward, and Dwayne Dedmon at center. I know last season we were pretty old, and this season we are incredibly young. Now off the bench we have Nicholas Batum, Jay Crowder, Alan Williams, Mike James, Mario Hezonja, Deontay Davis, Theo Pinson's not really getting any playing time. We'll switch his minutes around a little bit. Darrell Arthur, LiAngelo Ball is the last guy on the bench. So I want to know from you guys, what changes should I be making to the overall roster? Should I be trading Nicholas Batum? Should I try and trade Jay Crowder maybe instead? Lots of different things to do, lots of advice from you guys, so leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you guys want to see, and as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more, make sure you guys crush the like button. Let's go for 500 likes in today's video. Subscribe if you want to see more, and check the playlist on the screen to catch another one right now. Catch you guys on the next one.